If exercise feels impossible right now, this episode is for you because healing movement may be much smaller than you think. In this episode, you'll discover why exercise needs to be reframed during serious illness, how even small movements can support healing dramatically, and how to begin moving again, even if you don't feel like it. Stay with me until the end because I'll help you identify the smallest movement step your body may be ready for today. When people hear the word exercise, they often picture something like a gym, workout class, a treadmill, weights, sweating, a full hour carved out of the day. But after a serious diagnosis, that image can become pretty unattainable. Because what if you can barely get out of bed, or walking to the bathroom takes effort, or pain has changed the way you move? For many people facing cancer, chronic illness, autoimmune disease, neurological disease, or any life-altering diagnosis, the word exercise can feel charged. So today I want to change that word. Instead of starting with exercise, let's start with movement. The body changing position, blood moving, breath deepening, heart pumping. Because when you're seriously ill, movement may not look like a workout. It may look like walking to the mailbox, standing outside in the sun for 2 minutes, stretching your arms in bed, doing 1 lap around the dining room table, walking halfway down the street, resting and turning around. For many people, this is actually where healing begins. The stories I want to draw from today come from the book Radical Hope by Dr. Kelly A. Turner. In the chapter on exercise and physical activity, Turner makes an important point. Many survivors do not even think to mention exercise in their interviews because they don't consider what they did to be exercise. They think of exercise as something formal, but when they look more closely, they often realize that they were moving in small, consistent ways during some of the hardest seasons of their lives. One survivor named Tracy is a powerful example of this. Before her cancer diagnosis, Tracy had been a marathon runner, triathlete, gym buff, and yogi. She was someone who was very physically fit, and being active was a large part of her identity. Because of that, she had a very high bar for what counted as exercise. Then her body changed. During her illness, she reached a point where she was not exercising at all, at least by her old definition, because her body hurt too much to do that workout she used to do. At her weakest, she could barely walk down the street. But when she was asked whether she had moved her body at all during that time, she remembered that she had done little things to stay strong. She would walk as far as she could, rest for a minute, then turn around and walk home. At the time, she didn't think of that as exercise or even part of her healing treatment plan. Because for a former marathon runner, walking a short distance down the street and resting before coming home felt like basically nothing, and maybe even a little humiliating. But from the perspective of healing, that walk was not nothing. It was circulation, muscle maintenance, oxygen delivery, nervous system input, lymphatic movement, and it was something she did to survive and stay connected with her identity. Tracy also remembered celebrating a very ordinary seeming milestone during treatment. She was able to go to both the grocery store and the library on the same day without needing a 2-hour nap afterwards. For a healthy person, that sounds like normal errands, but for a sick person, that can feel like an athletic event. That is why movement has to be understood in context. Do not dismiss the movement your body can do just because it doesn't look or feel impressive. Connie Hazen, whose story I shared in our last episode about building a healing community, started with baby steps. At first, he could barely make it from the front porch to the end of the sidewalk, but one day he made it. Then he made it around the block. Then he made it around twice. His movement was very small at first, but it was a major part of helping him recognize that he was getting better and a critical piece in his healing journey. Another story from Radical Hope that drives this point home comes from a man named Tremaine. Tremaine was from New Zealand, and before his diagnosis, he had been physically fit and active. He played indoor soccer, went to the gym 2 to 3 times a week, boogie boarded at the beach, practiced yoga. Movement was part of his life and part of his identity. Then he was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He was told the cancer was terminal. He was also told he needed to stop moving because of concern about the tumor pressing against his stomach and lungs and the possibility that movement could worsen the situation. So he stopped. Now, there are times when a person truly does need restrictions, especially after surgery, high fall risk, heart or lung complications, or other specific medical concerns. But about a year later, Tremaine realized something. He was not dying in the way he had been told he would, but he was also not recovering. He was basically just surviving. He realized that he could not keep sitting still. It was not in his nature. So he started walking. He started by walking around the block every day after work. Then he gradually began walking further and further as he felt up to it. And about a year and a half later, he started doing yoga again. He did not go straight from illness into intense exercise. He built a rhythm. He let his body re-enter movement, and over time, movement became a significant part of his healing journey. Tremaine later experienced unexpected healing and believed that resuming exercise helped him, along with other healing factors in his remarkable recovery. It helped him return to his passion and become an active participant in his healing journey again. Movement matters because the body was designed to function in motion. Even when movement is small, it can change circulation, blood sugar, lymphatic flow, immune activity, inflammation, energy production, mood, and the nervous system's sense of safety. That means movement is one of the basic ways the body maintains the systems that help us stay alive, adapt, recover, and heal. When you move, circulation changes immediately. The heart pumps more blood vessels respond to the increased flow, more oxygen and nutrients are delivered to our tissues, and waste products are carried away. For a body that has been lying still, sitting for long periods, or conserving energy because of illness, even gentle movement can help re-engage the cardiovascular system. This is one reason physical activity is so consistently linked with better health outcomes. It helps the body keep delivering what cells need and clearing what they no longer need. Movement also supports the lymphatic system, which is deeply connected to immune function and fluid balance. Unlike the bloodstream, which has the heart as a central pump, the lymphatic system depends heavily on muscle contraction, body position, breathing, and movement to help lymph fluid move. When muscles contract and release, they create a kind of mechanical pressure that moves fluid through lymph vessels. When breath deepens, pressure changes in the chest and abdomen help circulate lymph. This matters because lymph carries immune cells, filters waste, helps manage fluid, and supports the body defense system. When someone is very still for long periods, that system does not receive the same mechanical help. Gentle walking, stretching, ankle pumps, arm movements, chair exercises, or slow movement paired with breathing can all begin to support that flow. Movement also changes blood sugar. This is one of the clearest examples of how even ordinary physical activity can alter physiology. When muscles contract, they can take glucose out of the bloodstream and use it for energy. They do this not only through insulin, but also through contraction-related pathways that help move glucose transporters to the surface of muscle cells. In plain English, moving muscles gives sugar somewhere to go besides our bloodstream. This is why even a short walk after a meal can help the body handle glucose more effectively. For someone trying to reduce metabolic stress, stabilize their energy, lower inflammation, or support healing, this is not a minor effect. It's major. Movement also affects inflammation. Skeletal muscle is now understood as more than tissue that helps us walk, lift, and stand. Muscle actually acts like an endocrine organ, meaning it releases chemical messengers called myokines when it contracts. These myokines help communicate with other parts of the body, including fat tissue, the liver, the immune system, blood vessels, and the brain. Some exercise-related myokines are involved in regulating inflammation, improving energy use, supporting blood vessel health, and helping tissues adapt. Movement can also influence immune function. Physical activity affects how immune cells circulate throughout the body, including natural killer cells and certain T cells that help patrol for infected or abnormal cells. In cancer survivorship research, exercise has been shown to improve physical function, fatigue, quality of life, anxiety, and depression, and researchers continue to study how these changes may connect to immune and inflammatory pathways. There is also growing interest in cancer research specifically as to whether exercise can improve the tumor's response to treatment itself. Some preclinical studies suggest that exercise may improve chemotherapy effectiveness by changing tumor blood flow, oxygenation, immune cell activity, inflammation, metabolism, and the tumor microenvironment. In human studies, studies, the picture is still developing, but it is promising. Some trials have found that exercise or exercise plus nutrition interventions during chemotherapy are associated with better pathologic response and better chemotherapy completion in groups of patients. Movement also supports mitochondria, the tiny energy-producing structures inside of each of our cells. When muscles are used regularly, the body is pushed to maintain and improve its energy systems. Over time, physical activity can support mitochondrial biogenesis, which means the creation of new mitochondria, and improves the body's ability to use oxygen and fuel. Movement can help the body begin rebuilding capacity instead of continuing to lose it. Movement also affects our nervous system. Serious illness can trap the body in a pattern of fear, waiting, pain, medical uncertainty, and immobility. Gentle movement can help shift that pattern and allow you to move from fight or flight, a state in which healing cannot happen, to rest and repair mode, which is when healing can happen. This is why small movement still matters. It's not small to the cardiovascular system. It's not small to the lymphatic system. It's not small to the muscles that are using glucose, releasing myokines, supporting mitochondria, and helping regulate inflammation. And it's not small to the nervous system that has been living in fear. Healing movement has a different spirit from regular exercise. The goal is not to prove your toughness. The goal is to partner with and rebuild trust with your body. Healing movement should leave you feeling more alive, more capable, more connected, and more steady. It may challenge you gently. It may take effort, but it should not repeatedly deplete you. If you're listening right now and feel too sick, tired, weak, or discouraged to exercise, I want you to start by taking the pressure off of the word exercise. Your job is not to become an athlete. Your job is to move your body in one way that allows it to begin healing. The first step is to define what counts for your body right now. Not what counted 5 years ago, what counted before your diagnosis, or what counted when you were younger, stronger, healthier, or training for something. What counts now? A walk to the mailbox, 3 minutes of stretching, a lap around your living room, a slow walk outside with someone beside you. Name the movement that is realistic enough to repeat. The second step is to choose your baseline. Your baseline is the amount of movement you can do without paying for it heavily afterwards. If your current movement leaves you flattened for days, that may be a sign it's not the right amount of movement for you. But if your current movement makes you feel stronger, clearer, calmer, more hopeful, or more present, that is a good sign. If you can walk for 2 minutes and recover well, start there. If 5 minutes is too much, start with 3. If walking is not possible today, move your arms, ankles, shoulders, hands, or breathe deeply. The body can begin from almost anywhere. The third step is to use the walk, rest, return method. This is what Tracy's story teaches us. Walk as far as you can comfortably go, rest for a moment, then come back. That might be down the street or the end of the driveway. It might be across the room. The fourth step is to connect movement to another daily habit, something that already happens. For example, after breakfast, you walk to the mailbox. After lunch, you stretch your shoulders. After your afternoon rest, you stand outside for 2 minutes. After dinner, you walk around the kitchen. A small daily rhythm is more powerful than sporadic effort once in a while. The fifth step is to increase slowly. After a week, add a little bit more if your body is responding positively. Walk 1 more minute, do 1 more lap, add 1 more stretch, stand a little longer, go from the mailbox to the neighbor's driveway. The increase should feel almost too small. That's how you know it's sustainable. The sixth step is to make it pleasant. Listen to music, walk with a friend, stretch in the sunlight, go outside if you can. Being outside with our feet in the grass is one of the best things we can do to heal our bodies. Or watch something funny while you do gentle movement. Dance for 1 song. Let your family join you. If movement feels like life and brings joy, you're more likely to return to it. And the final step is to celebrate small progress and victories. If you walked 1 more lap, celebrate it. If you went to the grocery store and the library in the same day, celebrate it. If you stood outside and felt the sun on your face, celebrate it. These moments may look small from the outside, but for a healing journey, they mean the body is coming back into a relationship with life. If this episode helped you feel more hopeful about what movement can look like in your own healing journey, follow Renegade Remission so you can stay connected to this larger conversation. We are walking through the pillars that show up again and again in remarkable recovery stories: nutrition, movement, stress, mindset, emotional healing, trauma, purpose, and community. And if you would like more support between episodes, I'd love to invite you to join my email newsletter. Each week, I share practical healing tools, reflections from the podcast, and encouragement for your own healing journey. You can sign up through my website at therenegadenutritionist.com. Stay tuned for our next episodes, and as always, go be renegades.